And now we're at the third part in our saga here, so to speak. All right, so we're here at the third part of our DSP versus Iron Chef Sakai versus Strangely Lex saga, and apparently we're gonna have a whole new Dent that's gonna be coming onto the board if this is who I think it is. We'll see about that. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopian News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company ever. Here we go. So, initially I thought I was going to just have this banged out in 3 parts, but since the last time I've done one of these, I kind of looked at this as with a cursory glance when this was going on. It's far more extensive than I thought. So just expect more of these down the line and whatnot. I've got a couple of channels that already have some of the resources already, and we'll get to it. But yeah, I took for granted some things. I took some things for granted, and we're about to talk about it in hopefully, well, in my favorite segment, and hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, one of your favorite segments as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TED Talk. So I had forgotten slightly, disregarded, because this guy just doesn't is not appealing to me, to be honest with you. He's not, there's nothing interesting about him. I kind of forgot that the Iron Chef Sakai Strangely Lex situation gave birth to another fucking massive fucking piece of garbage, fucking reject, and PWR. And him threatening Lex and the girlfriend, MJ, I think her name is, or what she goes by. And then him, that led to him fucking blading himself multiple times and whatnot, but like a coward, he couldn't get the job done in Minecraft. And all that silly ass shit that went on with that. But now, in our current day and age, he's a cokehead and he's doing all kinds of other shit. And he says this is something about a career when he just should have sat his ass back home with mommy. Because that's when everybody, I guess, or most people, I'll say that, found him more entertaining. Not when he moved out on his own and he's on his crackhead era type bullshit. Whatever. And so on and so forth. So anyway, we're currently, we're at the point where Lex and her girlfriend has been threatened by PWR, and DSP is going to speak on it, and then we'll, as the year goes on or whatever, maybe even later on this month, we'll see. I'll scrape everything else together, and we'll find out what continues to happen with the saga, because I'm kind of intrigued to some degree. I just didn't know that PWR popped up in it this early. For some reason, I thought he was coming in later on down the line, but it is what it is. I'm here to tell the story, so it is what it is. As for DSP, it's bad enough. It's bad enough that you got Lex, who gained all this attention, right, and notoriety, and then her VTuber friends, or some of them, started taking shots at DSP, which was hilarious. Which was fucking hilarious. Especially when DSP is kind of already a known mocked figure amongst VTubers, but for those of you who know, you know. So you have that situation. Then you have Iron Chef Sakai's bank, the Iron Bank, if you will, the dented Iron Bank, has now been pulled from the Snortex, at least for a time being. Now you end up giving rise to fucking PWR. Man, 2025 was a peculiar year, I gotta tell you. And all of that is still linked to the is still within the Kino Casino arc. So make of that what you will. Fun times, fun times. In any case, let's go ahead and move along with our situation and our circumstance. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And wild stuff, man. It's crazy how a lot of this shit was intertangled. It's wild, just absolutely fucking wild. All right, let's go with that. That seems like a pretty good feature. Let's go to our video at hand. Should be this one, I think. Yeah, here we go. All right. And let's get former introductions, and then let's get on with the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, We're here with Raw Phil. Big ups. This was cut by either Diggs or Asian GTG. Big ups to both of them. Let's see. Dark Side Phil speaks on Strangely Lex and her girlfriend being threatened by a Dent. This is from March 2nd of 2025. Last year, the year of the snake. Well, it was the current year for me. It would have been last year for you guys by the time you guys see this. Without further ado, I don't smell no bacon cooking. And let's go ahead and move along with this positively. And holy shit. Holy shit. Who would have thought this would have given rise to the fucking PWR? That's fucking bizarre. Anyway, without further ado, here we go.
I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about before we get, because I have so many topics to talk about. It's absolutely insane. Okay, it is. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Not drinking out of
I
a
forgot my
sippy
mug. I need to get a mug to put this drink in because I don't like just drinking it out of the bottle. I want to put it back in my nice level 1 podcast mug, but I forgot it today. I was running around doing a million things this morning. I really was. All right. So allow me to just very briefly just get past one piece of garbage and then we can move on. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, as you know, for 2 days, 2 entire days, I wasn't here. All right. And as I said, it seems like whenever I'm not around, people on the internet get stir crazy. What do I mean by
that's literally not true because he started this shit. Remember, well, for those of you who might remember, this he initially took shots at Iron Chef Sakai and Strangely Lex on February 26th. So this has been brewing for a little while. You know what I'm saying? This was brewing for a little while. So he knew what the fuck he was doing. Because when DSP goes on those 2-day hiatuses or whatever, I used to think he did it for every day off. But usually when he has 2 days off in a row, he'll try to stir some shit up before he leaves. Because he thinks it keeps his name in circulation for when he gets back, he has something to bitch about. And try to make himself seem like he's above, the discord or the controversy or whatever you want to call it. The drama. And the truth is, he isn't. He thrives off this shit. Good attention, bad attention, negative attention, whatever the fuck. He thrives off of it. And he needs it. And whatnot. He just doesn't know how to utilize it properly. Which is hilarious when you think about that in hindsight.
By that. I mean, let's be honest. There is an entire ecosphere of people who depend on me for content because they're a bunch of no-load leech losers who can't make content for themselves.
Well, that's not true, but if you would stop acting like a piece of shit, this wouldn't happen. But he don't want to do that. For one reason, he can't. He can't stop doing what he does. That's the problem. He can't stop doing it. Because if he would stop acting like a piece of shit, then there would be nothing to clip, and then there's nothing to feed the trolls. But because he can't do it, right? He's mentally and physically incapable of doing it. He's mad that he's basically being harvested or milked or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And yet again, it all starts and stops with him. Same thing with Rich's dumbass. Same thing with Wings. Same things with LTG. You know what I'm saying? You guys are lol cows for a reason. It doesn't even take much to even cause any of these fucking retards to lactate anymore. They damn near do it on command. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much. Shit. Review Tech USA is so fucking wound up that just the name of any of his trolls, Ames, Sly, Sav, anybody who's taken some real heavy shots at Rich and whatnot that he's had to acknowledge, or he was foolish enough to acknowledge, I should say, can cause that cat to start lactating. Fucking hey, man, that shit's crazy. That's fucking crazy. How is it that fucking you produce more milk than your wife? Sorry, you weren't even man enough to marry her. Sorry about that. How is it that Rich produces more fucking, or lactates more than fucking his baby's mom does? That's fucking crazy to me, bro. That's fucking wild.
So if I'm not around, they have nothing to talk about. So they start making some of the most crap content. They start going off the deep end. They start losing their minds. And that's exactly what happened in the last 2 days. Like, seriously, no exaggeration, just out of control nonsense. And the truth is, I have absolutely positively nothing to do with it. I was spending time with my family. You know what I mean? I was doing that. I was busy, and I wasn't even
busy doing what? excuse me, busy doing what? You were too lazy and too stupid to even grab a cup. He remembered to grab his sparkling water, but he wasn't smart enough to grab the cup. Meaning that it's probably still in the dishwasher, and the dishwasher probably either don't work or it's not on or they didn't start the load. And what the fuck do you do all day that's so busy what is it that you do all day that so supposedly keeps you so busy, and yet you still know about all the quote unquote discord that's going on around you on your days off? How's that work? And if you're so busy, right, and you guys have so much to do, spending time with your family or whatever, why is it that he freaks the fuck out every time he loses the internet? And then when people ask him, okay, well, if you guys don't have internet, why don't you guys spend time with each other? Well, how are we going to spend time with each other if we don't have an internet? The fuck? You guys not know what? You guys don't have a fucking Monopoly board, Uno, a chess set, something at all? You have fucking DVDs and shit? You have Blu-rays? You guys just can't throw a movie in and chill with each other? Guess not.
Aware of any of the stuff going on at all until this morning, when I was like, okay, it's time to prepare for the show. And so I start opening up social media, I start opening up stuff, and we got people to...
Yeah, right. He was off of social media for 2 days. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Phil. Oh man, that must be one of the worst lies of 2025.
Phil, did you hear this? Did you hear that this person did this? This person went on this show and said this, that this person's doing this, that this person's threatening this person.
Especially when he gets alerts for his Discord on his phone. He's admitted that too. So what? If people were reaching out to him on Twitter or fucking Discord, he's got notifications on for both of those things. Womp womp.
That this is going on, and this and that and this. And I said, no, and neither do I care. I'm not involved with any of this. Maybe you don't understand this, but I'm trying to make it as clear as possible.
While he continues to speak about that thing that he doesn't care about right now. That makes sense.
I'm one person who streams in his own space, right? I just make content for my viewers. I have a great time doing it every day. I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful family. I have a good thing going here.
I mean, you don't really have a family though. It's just you and your wife. And if you want to say that's your family, then so be it. But it's not like you have a beautiful wife and then you have an additional family next to that. That's not how that works. All right, whatever.
Good living doing it, right? Things are on the up and up. I'm having a great time. And I'm not involved with any of this toxic, negative, stupid crap on the internet at all. These people created a drama sphere.
Now that I think about it, in hindsight, looking at the Discord leaks, DSP is a fucking madman. He's an absolute mental fucking head case. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, holy shit. The dude who did the analyzing DSP series, Taking L's. Like, I wonder if he's ever actually gone over the leaks with those other two people that he had collaborated with. I'd love to hear what their thoughts were on all of that. That'd have been fantastic. That'd be a fantastic series if they ever decided to do it. That'd be good work, to be honest with you, if that's something they ever consider doing later on down the line. Holy shit.
Around me, because they have absolutely no skills or talents. So they're leeches, they're parasites, okay? They don't have anything to put out on the internet of worth. So instead they create a giant ecosystem of how do we leech off of someone who has work. Okay, so in the last couple of days, literally the internet exploded with drama that I had absolutely no...
Who's he even talking about? Like, he swears to God that Duty's like the end-all be-all of everything. That's so funny. That's so funny. Like, you can tell, though, too, and speaking of which, and this is one of the reasons why he hyper-fixates on Duty the way he does, he's so desperate to try to make Duty like the next fucking Fred Fugs. It's very clear that's what he wants and whatnot, which is interesting because he doesn't want to make him into or try to make him seem like the next Tevin. And the reason why is because he respects Tevin. So I can answer that question for you. But it's funny how he's desperate to try to turn Duty into the next Fred Fugs. He is absolutely desperate to do that. And one of the reasons, ironically enough, is he thinks that if he can do that, he can turn other detractors against him. Duty does a good job of doing that on his own. So you know, you can already skip that step. But that's the reason why he hyper focuses on Duty the way he does. It's really petty and it's kind of stupid because Duty is his own worst enemy, just like DSP is. They have some similarities, but that's the reason why. It's fucking crazy because even back, I barely remember any of this shit, but I don't remember all the crazy Discord that he makes it sound like. Just like when DSP had that week off and whatever. It was, I mean, outside of a handful of people, less than that, actually. Besides Duty and maybe a few people in his wake, there was nobody who really cared. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody speculated and everybody just chilled out for a week. It was actually a pretty good week. Actually, I think that's one of the things that pisses DSP off about that, is the fact that there wasn't any fucking Discord and Goutopia wasn't burning and shit and whatever. And Josh from the farms wasn't fucking banning people off of his forums because they were speculating about DSP. None of that happened. It might have been one of the most inactive weeks, but yet, okay, let's reword that. I think that was probably one of the few times in the DSP Detractor community where you actually had real camaraderie and no bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just sat around and speculated and just had a good time. They just chilled. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no extra bullshit. And I think that bothers DSP. Because remember, we're all supposed to be a hate mob. We're supposed to be all about clout. We're supposed to be all about this. We're supposed to be all about money. And we're all also looking to stab each other in the back at any given moment. He doesn't want us to be seen as a real community or any of us having any real camaraderie outside of doing his, DSP content. He doesn't want to believe that, because if he does come to that realization, then he realizes how bad his situation really is. On top of that, a Dent might actually want to go over there and actually see, well, on this side of the fence, and actually see what's what. And keep in mind, that's never a good thing for a Dent. Like, stay where you're at, man. You're at where you're at for a reason. You know, you don't get to be normal. Anonymous, hey, fuck that guy. Anonymous, amongst others, fuck that up for you guys a long time ago. Only Iced Coffee, fuck that up for y'all. It is what it is. You kind of got to eat that now.
Involvement with whatsoever. Zero. I didn't even know about any of it until this morning. And I was like, this is so stupid. Because again, now here I am. I'm just trying to shave, shower, get my stuff ready for the show, have breakfast with my wife. And instead it's like, look at this drama, look at this drama, look at this drama. You know what? No, fuck this drama. I have nothing to do with it. All right? Really. It's this simple. I have no involvement with any of it. Period.
You're this old and you don't know how to shave properly? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's pretty sad.
Right? You guys know me. You know my content. You know I literally don't bother anyone. The only time
except for when you were riding fucking Review Tech USA's ass for as long as you were. Or when you were fucking pressuring Kino Casino to get you the interview or some type of collab with Mutahar, or with It's a Gundam, or with Medicare, or when you stalked Medicare on Twitter /X and basically was like, hey, you're dying, we're running out of time, you need to do this thing with me. And then you said it was blown out of proportion and it didn't happen. Then you eventually ended up deleting the tweet because you're a coward. And then made another tweet trying to lighten the blow, which he's not very good at it. He's not very good at that at all. The fuck are you talking about? I don't bother anybody ever. And then if you fast forward, look at what he had done to Low Tier God. Look at what he had done to Wings. Shit, look at what he did to Asmon Gold leading up to that nonsense. Makes you think.
that I ever get involved in is when someone fucking bothers me first. If someone fucks with me, then I'll mess with them back to some extent, and then I get bored with it and I move on.
Oh, so you've moved on from Low Tier God? Well, LTG never bothered them, though. He's been stalking LTG since, like, 2016. And his only pretense, if you wanted to give him that, is the fact that LTG beat him in Street Fighter 4 in a random match and whatnot. And that's it. And DSP's been holding on to that shit ever since. Matter of fact, I'm glad I brought this up. I think I have found one of the origins on why DSP has a problem with Maximilian Dude. And that shit stems all the way back in like the early 2010s. Now, I'm working on it. But it's not going to take long because DSP, if I'm correct, DSP has gotten rid of most of the evidence on his end. But Max still has everything on his end. If that's the case, that might be a funny little thing if it ends up panning out the way I think it is. I'll hold that under my hat for right now, but really, really interesting stuff. I gotta tell you. Or it's silly. It's interesting, but it's silly. It's silly as shit.
Right? I am not having long-term engagement with these idiots. I want nothing to do with these morons who every single time they open their mouths about me, my detractors come running and give them attention, right? So I don't care. To be frank, I just don't give two shits about any of this, and it doesn't involve me at all. The bottom line is everyone wants to bring up DSP because they know when they put my name in their mouth, they get attention because they're talking about me. You get it? Not because of them, because of me.
Ironically enough, no one wants to actually talk to him, though. That's the crazy part. So everybody uses DSP to make money, and everybody uses DSP to get attention. But when DSP wants to get attention for himself, he can't get it. He has to talk shit about people and then suck them off in DMs and apologize. Makes sense, I guess.
Do you see my point? If one day I turn off my camera and I don't broadcast, they got nothing and they lose their minds.
That's literally not true. Like, there's a whole library of shit to go over, bruh. So even the people who go over your stuff in the day-to-day can go back a couple years and revisit something. Fuck you. All right, whatever. I'm not going to help you out any further than that. You're a fucking retard. And there's a bunch of other little cows out there. So it is what it is.
And then all of a sudden they got to do the most crazy shit to try to get attention. They got to, they just go nuts, right? They're losers. And so I have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with any of the nonsense that these idiots do, nor will I ever. And the fact that anyone would think that because someone brings up my name in anything that I'm involved, you're an idiot. No, I'm going to say it again. Just because someone...
Oh, that's how he's covering. That's how he's trying to distance himself from the PWR thing. Oh, okay. That's funny. I wonder if you actually bring his name up in this. I'm curious. Well, let's go ahead and keep going.
Name drop someone. If you think that they're involved, you are a functional retard. You get it? You're a moron. You're a mouth drooler. And you don't deserve anyone's attention, and no one should have to address it. Okay? I have nothing to do with any of the nonsense these idiots try to perpetuate on the internet. I want nothing to do with it. I have my own business and my own space where I can function.
So you don't care about the psychopath that ain't sat there and threatened those chicks. You don't care about the pedophiles and fucking weirdos that are in your direct vicinity. Okay, I mean, I guess. That's an interesting way of looking at it.
And I am very successful at that. And I don't ever go outside of that space because I don't want drama from anywhere else. So if you think I'm ever involved in any of this stuff, you're the problem, not me. Because I'm not going to sit here and constantly defend myself against every single time someone says DSP or Dark Side Phil or Phil Burnell. I don't have to. Do you get it?
As he proceeds to actually do it. I don't need to defend myself as he proceeds to defending himself. Sure. Makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
Because intelligent people don't think that way. Only morons on the internet do. So I have nothing to do with anything. I don't even want to know about it. I'm not involved in it. If you bring it up, enjoy your permanent ban. Don't ask for an unban because I'm not giving you one. I have a life and I have things to do that are way more important than to be wrapped up in the shit that you stirred when I had 2 days off because you don't have a life. Do you get it now? Was that clear enough? I think I've made myself very, very transparent and clear on this issue. There'll be no swaying on it. If you fuck with me and you bother me and you piss me off and you waste my time, you're gone. Absolutely no exceptions. I don't care if you're someone who just showed up today for the very first time or you're someone who's been part of this community for 25 years. If you start drama and you drop my name, you're gone. Get it?
That's very intimidating, Phil. Yeah. I can see how he fucking fell to his knees as quickly as he did in that parking lot. I can see it. I mean, I can always see it, but fucking A, there ain't nothing tough about you at all. I can see why all those years of him being on, well, his time affiliated with or just being on Alphaism Radio got him into so much trouble. I can see it now. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I think that's clear. All right. So now we can move on. Cool. Okay. Oh, let's see. So I have so much to talk about. Really, I have so much to get to today. That's good. Parasolo says, I have no idea what you're referencing. That's a good thing. You want to know why, Parasolo? You don't know what I'm referencing? Because you're a normal person. Because you're a normal person who doesn't sit on the internet and hyper focus on drama and start shit because I'm not around. Like, that's what people do. I'm not around, so we have nothing to talk about. We're bored, so let's just start a bunch of drama and try to fucking get everyone riled up. No, but normal people don't do that. Like, oh, Phil's gone for 2 days? I guess I'll come back in 2 days, right? But not these idiots on the internet, these crazy fucking, you know, weirdo people with no brains and no fucking hearts and no morals or any. They're just completely nuts. They're not like us. They're not. Okay. So,
like I said, how long has he been stalking low tier God for? For years? How long was he plotting to get back at Stuttering Craig? 16, well, he's still doing it, but like 16 to 18 months before they finally had their follow-up interview after the side scroller shit? How long has he held a vendetta against Review Tech USA and Keemstar? Which is funny because both of those guys hold vendettas against people too, but you get what I mean. All right, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Let's see. Someone just got banned, so go ahead and continue it and see what happens, stupid. Right? What a complete moron. All right.
Hurtful.
So let's talk. First of all, let's talk about the schedule. All right, because now the schedule is going to change and shift around a bit, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But you should be aware of what's happening with said schedule, so that way you're not confused. Because Smart Guys is moving. This now means that we're probably going to have a Lego night this week. And then I want to talk about my day off a bit. What I did on my day off. We got to talk about a lot of things. One thing that we have to figure out, DSP Tries It is coming up. Or I think we will eventually. But what do you guys think of like a retrospective birthday marathon where we go down memory lane and we watch old playthroughs? And
I thought you have a life, though. You know how pathetic that sounds? You can't think of anything but to go back into some old fucking tired-ass shit in your own past and try to celebrate about that? Yikes. That's unfortunate.
Vlogs and things like that, and we chill. That'd be cool, I think. Have to figure that out, though, right?
Didn't this idiot, actually he did, he used to do retrospective marathons, and after like the second one, it might even been the third, he basically was starting to complain that his own shit was boring and he didn't want to watch it. But he wants to do a retrospective event for his birthday, as if his birthday isn't pathetic enough as it is. That's crazy.
Well, thank you, Guitar Player. Let's keep that in the running as an idea. That's cool. Oh, let's see. I received a $2 tip.
How the fuck does he always look so greasy? Jesus Christ, man.
Maybe every now and then mention your correct channel is DSP Gaming. Some people seem to be confused and ask you to play games via chats on other channels.
People have been doing that, though. People have been doing that, so that's nothing new.
Well, first off, let's be transparent here, all right? Here is the problem. As I said at the very beginning of this show, okay, there is an entire ecosystem of losers on the internet that they depend on me to have content. On a day when I'm not making content, they have nothing to do with their lives, and so their channels are dead and they have nothing to do, right? So the thing is, on a day when I'm making content, they then go crazy. Oh, we got to restream, we got to clip, we got to steal, we got to do all this. So what ends up happening is, for example, there's a guy named Button Check in the fighting game community, and he's actually had a few times where he's been interested. He got a wind of my takes or something fighting game related, and he would respond to it. But he outright said a couple weeks ago, he wants to respond to things I'm saying, but he can't actually get to my content. He tries to find it, but every time he tries to search for it, he just gets bombarded with the Detractor content.
Okay, let's cut the shit on this. First things first, if Ernesto really wanted to look for it, he would. 2, it's far easier to get to the Detractor content so you can get directly to the segment that you're looking for without going through DSP slop. 3, and this is probably the most important thing. If Ernesto really wanted to talk to DSP directly, he would. He could. He could reach out to him on fucking Twitter. So no one gives a shit about the fact that Ernesto, nothing against Ernesto, I like him, but like nothing against him, but like, no, I'm not giving Ernesto a pass because he didn't find you on Twitter. And even if Ernesto did find DSP's direct channel and did find the actual video itself, you really think he wants to go through an hour and a half of slop to respond to fucking 20 minutes worth of shit? Yeah, no, he's not doing that. He's not doing it. Sorry. He's not. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He's not indoctrinated. He's not initiated into the game to that level and whatnot to be doing so. In the FGC, yeah, he'll research all day, but he's not going to do that for fucking on some DSP bullshit. It's far easier to go to a Detractor channel and be done with it.
That's how YouTube works, because YouTube is dumb as fuck. And it's true, it is. YouTube is completely dumb. It will lead you to the drama content and the stuff that's not legit before it will lead you to the stuff that's legit.
You mean the stuff that actually gets views? What, like, stupid is as stupid does, I guess. I guess you could up your shit, but if you're not going to do that, then I guess you just got to deal with it. You got to just deal with it.
It's just a really poorly designed website. It's just garbage, okay? It's like you'll get the fake news before you'll ever get the real news, right? That's how YouTube is. Run by a bunch of fucking morons. So,
the same morons, by the way, that he depends on to make a living. Keep that in mind.
I've tried to reach out to the guy and say, hey, this is my real channel. This is my real Twitter. You know, follow me here, talk to me here. He got bombarded by so many people impersonating me that I think he gave up. Because basically he said, hey, can someone tell me what the real content is? And all my detractors.
But here's the thing. No. Go back to what he said initially. He's saying that he's already tried to reach out to him, whether through his channel or through Twitter, to try to get the guy to talk to him, and Ernesto won't talk to him. That's what he's actually saying. And then he tried to go ahead and push it back to, oh, well, he can't find me on YouTube. He can't find me on YouTube. No. You admitted that you've tried to reach out to Ernesto directly and he won't talk to you. That's kind of funny.
He just gets bombarded with the detractor content because that's how YouTube works, because YouTube is dumb as fuck. And it's true, it is. YouTube is completely dumb. It will lead you to the drama content and the stuff that's not legit before it will lead you to the stuff that's legit. It's just a really poorly designed website. It's just garbage, okay? It's like you'll get the fake news before you'll ever get the real news, right? That's how YouTube is. Run by a bunch of...
And keep in mind, too, if you think about it, if you really think about it, DSP may very well be the original slop YouTuber. You ever thought about that? If you did, I don't blame you, because it's not like anything worth thinking about. But honestly, he may have been the very first original slop YouTuber. You're uploading 60 fucking videos a day, and half the time they're not even in order. Actually, most of the time they're not even in order. It's just trash for the sake of being trash. And he couldn't even upload them in bundles to where at least they're, okay, these are all, you know, these 4 videos are one game, and then the 4 videos after that is another game, then another 4 videos after that game. They're all just jumbled up together. And his only quote-unquote saving grace, or at least so he says, is, oh, well, I got a playlist for it, so don't pay attention to what goes on my front page. But then for any new person who pops up, they're gonna look at his front page and be like, the fuck is this? DSP may have been he may be patient zero as it pertains to slop YouTubing. It's fascinating. That's absolutely fucking fascinating.
Fucking morons. So, I've tried to reach out to the guy and say, hey, this is my real channel. This is my real Twitter. You know, follow me here, talk to me here. He got bombarded by so many people impersonating me that I think he gave up. Because basically he said, hey, can someone tell me what the real content is? And all my detractors messaged him with fake shit. So basically now I don't think he cares anymore. I think he just kind of gave up. And you want to know the truth? I don't blame him. Like, there's so many people, all right, that literally depend on me. They're leeches and parasites. That they need that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's projection. On top of that, doesn't he say that his own fan base depends on him to put out content, to put out meaningful content? Doesn't he say that he saves so many people's lives through his content because he's so consistent, because he's so prolific? Something to think about.
They figure if we make more drama or we make whatever, we get more content. So to them, to confuse him is better than allowing him to find the real content, because then he might talk to me and get the real story, and then all of a sudden their narratives fall apart.
But that's not true, because you're a known liar. Even Ernesto knows that. So it's funny how he needs everybody to go to him and only listen to him and only believe him. But it's not going to take Ernesto long to figure out that, you know, dude, you're a liar, bro. There's a lot of pieces of shit that have been in the FGC or who have come through it. There's not too much that Ernesto has not seen, especially being around as long as he has. So you don't think if Ernesto talked to you directly, he wouldn't suss you out? If that was the case, then why hasn't Ernesto talked to you yet? This is back in March. I'm currently in December. If Ernesto really wanted to talk to you, he would. He may have had a hard time, supposedly. He may have had a hard time finding the content. And I say supposedly because I just think Ernesto didn't try that hard. But he doesn't have a hard time finding you. He can find you on Twitter or X, whatever. Make it make sense.
Because a level of intelligence enters the conversation, and they don't want that, right? They don't want intelligent conversation. They just want drama. So this is the problem. Seriously, this is the problem, is no matter what I do, they're going to lie, they're going to impersonate me, and they're going to do nonsense, right? You would hope that people would have a brain and say, oh, look.
And actually, he's fucked up his own narrative, because he's admitted that he's reached out to Ernesto directly, and Ernesto hasn't reached out to him back. So yet again, another example of, if he wanted to find you or reach out to you, he could. And he's just choosing not to do it. So I'm thinking about,
for the YouTube channel that's, 15 years old, that's the real one. My YouTube channel is verified. All the other people who impersonate me on YouTube, they don't have verified channels like me that say DSP Gaming or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm the one who has the verified channel. That should be the way that people can find me. But sadly, there's no way on social media anymore to protect your identity. You can easily pay for the check mark on Twitter, X,
That's how DSP got it, by the way, just in case you guys don't know. DSP literally paid for the check mark all those years ago, like many years ago and whatnot, because he brought it up in like one of his pre-streams or whatever, and he acted like it wasn't a big deal, and then he just ended up paying for it and whatnot. Keep in mind, back in the day, a lot of people didn't have to pay for check marks. It was something that, if you were, I guess, relevant enough, it was given. But then they opened up, then Twitter, Dorsey, I should say, ended up opening up the doors and being like, if you want to pay for it, then you can, and DSP eventually paid for it.
It's nonsense the way that they've set it up. It really is. It's horrible how they set that up.
Yeah, is it Jack Dorsey, I think his name is, or was, or whatever? He was the former owner of Twitter.
Oh, there's nothing I can really do about that. I could right now say, hey guys, my real channel is DSP Gaming, and my real Twitter account or X account is @they call me DSP. And if you want to come,
you know how wild that is. So you called your Twitter account @DSP, and you made your WWE Champions account @DSP too. And isn't he No, I was gonna say that isn't on Xbox. Isn't he @DSP as well? But I think he's Darkside Phil on Xbox and on PlayStation 2, I think. Or he's DSP Gaming, one of the two. It doesn't matter. He has multiple accounts, so it doesn't really mean anything either which way. But I don't know how he didn't think someone was going to suss him out of that WWE Champions thing eventually. You know what I mean? When your fucking Twitter handle is the same as the account. You know what I mean? But whatever. I would assume that all of his mobile gaming accounts are under that same name. Even the ones that haven't been found. He might have switched up names now, but I would assume that they were all like that. So,
come hang out with me on a live stream, or you can shoot me an email, or you can, tweet me. But it doesn't matter, because no one will ever get that information, because my detractors bury it on purpose, right? They literally just make up so much information, misinformation, and then they're the ones. Who do you think is actually running these accounts? It ain't me. It's these detractors, because they want attention, you see? So they say, oh, look what he said, but I never said it. It's some bullshit clone account, right? I'm not going to be talking with people and be like, oh, let's set up private discussions and let's have private gaming sessions and this and that. That's always fake. You know, I'm here.
Whoever accused him of doing that, though, at least in the current year. All right.
6 days a week working. That's how you can contact me. You know what I mean? I'm a transparent guy. I have very easy ways to contact me for anything.
And this is before the early bird situation too. So there's that. I still think that was just Cat under his account. Honestly, I still think that's what that was. I don't think DSP was the one who did it, but whatever. It didn't matter. Like Duty basically fucking gave DSP an easy alley oop with that bullshit. So it doesn't matter either which way.
And it's certainly not, oh, you know, send me private DMs and some secret X account or secret YouTube channel, and then let's, you know, that's not real. That was you would never, Darkside Phil would never be doing that. The real Darkside Phil. So, you know, but the saddest thing is there's really no way that I can, you know what I'm saying? There's no way I can really clear it up. There's too many idiots constantly restreaming, stealing, impersonating. I can't make them stop. Who would have to make them stop is places like YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't, you know, it's stupid. They need to. They seriously need to cut the shit, but they just allow it. You tell me why YouTube allows it, right? I don't know. YouTube should cancel all the fucking toxic channels that just, you know, perpetrate.
They would eventually get you too. And the thing is like someone like Review Tech USA realizes that. Monday Matt certainly realized that after what fuckery happened to him back in 2017. It's only people like fucking DSP and like Low Tier God and even Wings of Redemption to some extent, even though he knows better, that want to keep perpetrating that bullshit where if all the fucking troll channels and detractor channels got taken down, everybody would go to them for the content. And that's not even true. That's legitimately not true. I've actually spoken to dudes who are who take in a lot of LTG content, for example, who said that if the troll channels disappeared, they just stopped watching them. They just watch somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly believe that. And I would say you have a demographic like that in every troll community. So no, it doesn't work that way. There's a reason why they absorb the troll channels for a reason.
Insane theft, crime, but they don't. They literally do nothing. They make you sue them to get it to stop. Anyway, I hear your pain, especially if you're someone who's been fooled by one of these fake Twitter accounts or one of these fake YouTube accounts, but there's nothing I can really do about that.
But Ernesto never said that he was misled by a Twitter account. He just said he couldn't find your YouTube account. So I don't even know where this whole Twitter thing even came from. He kind of threw that in there just to muddy the water, which is weird. It's almost like he's trying to use that as a way of getting Ernesto to reach out to him. It's like, hey, I've already tried to reach out to you through Discord and more than likely through Twitter, and he didn't get a response. So now it's like, oh, if someone's been impersonating me, so on and so forth, I never said anything or I never proposed anything, so now you have to reach out to me. And, you know, they call me DSP on Twitter. I honestly think that's what he did, or what he thinks he's doing, I should say.
You know, it's X sold out when Musk bought X. They turned it into a paid for, you know, kind of drama site, which is sad. You know, I used to have verification on X, and then they took it away. And then you get paid verification, and it means nothing because everyone has paid verification, and everyone can impersonate everyone. So the site really, for that regard, is just worthless now. You know, the only things I post up on X are schedule updates, an occasional tweet here or there about a random subject, and that's it. I don't really post anything of massive importance on X.
Yeah, because he ain't been smacked down multiple times. Like I said, when he accused all those people who were getting review copies for games and whatnot, he called them shills and sellouts. They weren't real gamers. He got fucked over that shit. He tries to poke the hornet's nest with the FGC. He gets laughed at and mocked and fucking is basically kicked right back out through the fucking door. He doesn't really talk about anything else, to be honest with you, because he doesn't know anything and he's not invested in anything, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? The last big blow up or glow up, let's say that. The last big glow up he had was on the back of Pro Jared. And after, I don't know, like 9 months, maybe a year. Actually, I don't even think it lasted that long. It might have been like 6 months. After like 6 months, people had moved on. But he kind of tried to drum up some shit on Twitter about that. and he was ignored. So he gave up on it because the hate train had moved on to someone else.
So if you ever see anyone like causing problems or whatever on X, it's definitely not me, because that's not even the place I would do it. You know what I mean? No, and that's the sad fact is for a while I was. If you remember, when originally Kino Casino, was doing stuff with me, I actually got a giant boost on YouTube. And for a couple months there, if you actually search for DSP or DSP Gaming, I was at the top of the search results.
That's not true, but all right.
Right? But what happens is then I didn't follow along with that. I didn't, right? And
if anything, Kino Casino started to really be entrenched. If you looked up DSP content, they they snaked themselves into the DSP algorithm. That's really what happened.
I didn't keep the drama up. And so that extra popularity that I was getting went away. And then the detractors kept up with their bullshit and their gaming of the system. Because that's all it is. They follow the same formula as everybody else. the same drama, slander, defamation, clickbait, outright lies, selective editing, literally passing around nonsense, tinfoil hat bullshit.
That's weird for someone who says he doesn't watch Detractor content, but he's going to accuse people of all this shit. What evidence, though? What proof does he have? Can he pull up an example of that? Nope. Okay. I just thought I'd ask.
Insulting thumbnails. It's the same bullshit everyone does. It's just there's no rocket science to it. The YouTube formula is very easy to abuse to win. It's just that some people play the game and some don't, and I never have. I've literally...
Oh, that's literally a lie. He cheated the system from damn near day one. He miscategorized himself, or clickbaited, if you will. Well, both, really. He did that since the beginning of YouTube and whatnot. And then as YouTube's algorithm changed, that's why he kept complaining about it, because he couldn't figure out a way to take advantage of it. And truth be told, even this year, he admitted that he tried well, not that he tried. He admitted that early on in YouTube, he gamed the system. He took advantage of it. You know what I mean? And he's mad that YouTube doesn't tell them how the algorithm works. So yet again, so he can get an advantage. But he's stupid, because if everybody knows how the algorithm works, then the algorithm doesn't work. That's like saying if everybody's rich, then nobody's rich. It's just like that. It's legitimately like that. If we're all rich, then nobody's rich, because we're all on the same fucking level. Stuff like that.
Literally never, ever played the YouTube game. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me.
He don't give a fuck, but then he cries and complains about how no one can find him and how he doesn't get views on his YouTube channel and he doesn't have seniority in the fucking algorithm, sorry, or in the search engine. But we don't give a fuck, though. Just putting it out there.
Something in my throat. Ugh. But so they kept doing it, and then after a few months of me actually having that lead on them, they retook it, because again, they're never going to give up. They're a bunch of losers. Again, they rely on me.
You never had a lead, though.
The 2 days I just had off, they had nothing to do. So they had to literally create drama, so they had something to talk about, because there was nothing going on. You see? All right.
That was a lot of coke.
All right. That's correct. Yes. Someone just tipped another buck, and they said the stupid algorithm basically recommends the detractor channels before you. That's why Button Check can't find me, because he'll hear, oh, Phil said this about an opinion. I want to find that. And he'll try to find it on YouTube, and he'll just get recommended 40 detractors who all took what I said out of context, edited it with dumb memes and shit in it. So you can't just get the actual thing I said. And it makes it impossible to make content around it, because you can't get the raw content. A lot of people don't know that you have to go, oh, there goes my bit rate again, by the way.
That's hilarious. On top of that, though, does DSP have an edited segment of whatever it is that Button Check was looking for on his channel? No? Okay. I just want to throw that out there. Now
my internet is crapping out again. Oh my God. Boy, I tell you guys, So I had several days with no issues, and now my internet just started to crap out again. You see what I mean about these tech issues? Again, I have nothing to do with them. Like, literally, I have nothing to do with these tech issues. My wireless turns itself off. Well, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. Now my internet is messing up and dropping. And it's like, well, I'm not doing that. And by the way, again, it's not a DDoS attack.
How do you know that?
If it were a DDoS attack, my entire modem would turn off and restart and then turn on again. It would have to completely cycle. And that's not what's happening here. It's the quality of the internet is dipping, and then it's coming back, and then it's dipping, and then it's coming back. It's very frustrating. You know, again, I have nothing to do with this. So what we'll probably have to do, we'll end the podcast and we'll just hang out here for a little bit until the internet solidifies, because there's no point in trying to stream a game if it's going to be doing this. It's so dumb.
It's just hilarious.
Yep, there it goes. It's the webcam's fault. It's not the webcam's fault. I'll tell you, it's the internet. The internet is just, it's fucking stupid. It's flaky. And it's been fine for many other streams, right? And then all of a sudden now today, it just starts immediately right now. All right. What we'll do, let's end the podcast, all right? And then what we'll do is we'll hang out for a bit. We're just going to have to hang out until the internet stops being finicky, because there's no point in me trying to start Avowed. How are you going to even see the gameplay, right? Guitar Player did a $5 super chat. He says, I'm pretty sure if you stopped making content for a week, these people would go away. They wouldn't go away. Again, they would go stir crazy and have nothing to do.
Oh, that's an interesting foreshadowing.
Seriously, like, no lie, 2 days. 2 days away. All right? No content. So what do? They actually go out and start making death threats to people and then name dropping me in the death.
That's crazy. He literally, it's funny. He finally got to it. But he's literally trying to make it seem like his detractors were the ones who threatened that girl. That's fucking wild. So he's like low-key trying to protect PWR and then just shifting the blame onto detractors. Like it's a false flag attack or some shit. Wow, what a scumbag.
Death threat to try to act like I'm involved, because I'm not here to make content, so they have to invent the drama content. Get it? Like, they have to literally make it because I'm not here. So, oh no, the parasite can't survive, so now we have to fabricate something. Right? That's obviously not even real. But, you know,
that wasn't a very good analogy, but all right.
There's people are morons, and then they give that attention to the person that they're craving, and then that person says, oh, look, the action that I took got the reaction I wanted. So now I'm, you know, it just creates that cyclical situation, you know, but that's what I mean. That's what the extent that they'll go to in order to get attention when I'm not here, because they have nothing to talk about, because they have no content to make, because I
love how he's just disregarding what PWR did and just making it someone else's fault. He literally did this in, or something similar to this, I should say, in part 1 of this whole Strangely Lex versus fucking Iron Chef Sakai versus DSP thing here. And now he's going to try to use that same method, I guess, or MO, if you will, against Detractors now over some dumb shit that a Dent, a literal fucking Dent, his Dent for that matter, fucking did. That's crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy work.
I'm not here, so they have nothing to regurgitate. They have nothing to restream. They have nothing to repost. They have nothing to misquote. They have nothing to slander or defame. So instead, they make up their own drama situation and then try to put my name in it like I'm involved when I'm not.
Wow.
You know, they're out of their minds. These people are fucking nuts. But no, if I went away for a week, they would all lose their minds for a week. But at the moment that I come back, they would go right back to it. Because again, they literally depend on me. Without me, there is no them. They literally don't exist without Darkside Phil.
Interesting.
They are nobodies. They are limp dick losers. That's why they do what they do. If they had talent, if they had power, if they had intelligence, they would go do something for themselves.
What intelligence do you have? What power do you have? What talent did you have? Take away DSP's hands, for example, so the dude can't play games. Let's say that, hypothetically. Take away that dude's hands. What's he going to do until he gets the use of his hands back or his hooves back? He's going to talk about what? How long is he going to be able to hold a conversation? How's he going to entertain the audience once they get tired and they start leaving? What's he going to do? Take gaming away from DSP altogether, and what does he really provide? All he can do is beg, and all he'll do is beg about whatever his situation is. So even taking his hands away doesn't actually really work out, because he'll just he'll beg and cry at the fact that he can't use his hands or his hooves, whatever. Does that really take talent to do that? I'm just asking.
But instead, they have to leech off of me. Get it? But thank you, Guitar Player, for the $5 super chat. Is the internet solidifying a bit now? It looks like it might be. I think we should still end the show, just so if it does crap out again, it's not, hurting the end of the podcast. All right. So thank you guys so much for being here and chilling. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I'm glad that we stayed away from drama, because I'm not going to waste time on it. And I'm glad that we're starting the week strong. We got good stuff coming up this week. We've got, like I said, we got great gameplay. We got a Lego night. We got the return of Smart Guys. We got a new 3-camera setup. We got a new background, right? Everything's feeling fresh and new and exciting. So I hope that you guys are as excited as I am for all of the content. By the way, it says Dan the Man.
Jesus Christ, look at that shit. Look at that shit. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? This is like legitimately bum fights. I mean, except for the trans, except for the transsexual on the left side. But outside of that, dude, this is legitimately bum fights. Like, what is this shit? Good God. Sad, just sad.
Resubbed, so thank you for that, Dan the Man. I'll count that towards our goal. But thank you so much for a great show tomorrow. Well, listen, this person is tipping me and they're talking about drama. I'm not going to talk about drama. I've already handled it this morning. I made it abundantly clear. I'm not involved with any drama. People try to pull me into drama because I had days off, right? Like, I actually literally had 2 days off, which I almost never take, which is crazy to think that I almost never take 2 days off, right? Like, usually if I have a day off, it's a day, only one day. And even then I'm kind of working that day. I'm doing errands and stuff, right?
Oh, you mean like basic adult shit that we all do? Basic adult shit that we all do that most people don't even spend their days off doing. They just do it during the regular work week, so they can actually spend time with their families on their days off. This mongoloid hasn't figured that out yet, though.
So I take 2 days off, and complete asshole morons decide, hey, because Phil's off, we have to manufacture drama. So let's actually start doing like horrific things and dropping his name and shit. It's like, I'm not involved in that. I don't know why you would.
But he doesn't want to put any blame on the person who actually did it, because that right there is not enough degrees of separation that he can explain away. So the detractors just lied. Wow, that's fucking crazy. Too bad Asmund Gold didn't bring this part up. That's unfortunate.
Think I am. Just because someone says my name somewhere doesn't mean I'm involved, and I refuse to be. Like, literally, I've had enough of the bullshit. So I'm not going to talk about it any further. I said my piece on the podcast. My opinion's not going to change. And that's that. Just talking about it further is a waste of my time. There's really nothing else to say about it. I'm not involved. Okay. We did this. This was the chest. Is there anything else to do?
A glorious battle.
Like, think of it this way, okay? I'm going to summarize this in the absolute best way possible, okay? Hold on, let me kill these enemies so I got distracted. Someone is not responsible for the actions of others just because someone invokes their name. It's that simple, right? Like, for example, let's say someone, I don't know, robbed a bank and then said, I did it for Miley.
This literally isn't true, though, because he accused Evil AJ of sending people to troll him. He accused Almighty Tevin of doing the same thing. He accused SOK. Well, SOK did some of that, but they didn't do all of it, but they did some of it. He accused SOK of all that. So how is it that he can hold everybody else to that particular standard, but he can't be held up to that? And this is someone who has been known in the past to weaponize his own community to go after people. Fucking crazy.
Cyrus. Does Miley Cyrus then have to go out publicly and apologize and say, I'm so sorry that that guy robbed the bank in my name? No. Miley.
They usually do, especially if someone got hurt. I'm not saying they're even obligated to do it. Sometimes they do it just because, you know what I'm saying, it looks good for their image if they do.
Cyrus has nothing to do with the person who robbed the bank. Therefore, Miley Cyrus does not have to go apologize for it.
And yet again, sometimes they actually do, though. So it is what it is. Are they obligated to do it? No, but sometimes they actually do. Maybe not for something like robbing a bank. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's kind of fucking retarded. But but there are situations where they do apologize for shit that literally had nothing to do with them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, nor would...
It's kind of being, I guess one could make the argument that it's being socially responsible.
Anyone go after Miley Cyrus asking her to apologize for said bank robbery, right? So just because someone is a nut job and does something on the internet to get attention for themselves, which is exactly what it is.
And then you're not a celebrity, so why would you even, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you think there's some type of equivalence in that? It just doesn't make any sense in itself either.
Right? And then they say, oh, well, I'm doing it.
And you listen to Miley Cyrus? That's weird in itself, but all right.
For someone else, it doesn't mean anything. Like, no, sorry, I don't now have to somehow go out of my way to apologize and explain to everyone this is bad. I'm not your dad. Okay, just for the record, I'm not. I don't know if anyone's aware of that. I'm not your father. Well, that sucks. Apparently I took massive damage and I'm incapacitated. Shit. Okay, hold on. I can't do the two-handed. I gotta equip the shield now. Apparently this is a tough fight.
Either that or you're just bad at it.
Coming around shield. I'm gonna have to block. Well, I think that's the point is, you know, at any point, anyone on the internet can say anything and then be like, oh, I did it for this person, I did it for that person. No, they didn't. Listen, I was off for 2 days. I'm not talking to anyone. I have no involvement with anything, okay? Obviously, anyone can just make shit up, and I shouldn't have to then go out of my way to dispel the nonsense that they made up. By default, you should just say, oh, that's nonsense. But because it's me and because my detractors want to make drama for everyone around me, they act like it's real. Oh, yeah, see, Phil, he did this. He should disprove this. He should... No, I don't have to do anything. I'm not involved.
Oh, boy.
At all. And but the truth is...
This is that Derek shit all over again. He never let it go. He never could accept the fact that by you admitting that people told you and you knew about it, hell, he may have even looked at it himself and whatever, he won't accept responsibility for it. And then he's mad that the dirt is on him, even though he's admitted over the last 2 parts that I've done of this shit that he doesn't know about it, he doesn't want to know about it, he doesn't care, which means he doesn't give a shit about his community and the people that are in it. And if it does end up blowing up and whatnot, he'll disregard all of it anyway and say it's not my fault, it's not my problem. Then what the fuck's the point of having a community then? How can you even say that's a community if that's the case? Something to think about.
Just by addressing it and bringing it up, you're giving them exactly what they want, because all a person like that wants is attention. That's the only reason they're doing it. So by actually saying, oh, don't do that, you know, you're actually giving them exactly what they desire and you're playing their game. So what you do to that is, if, for example, if someone is doing something awful, you immediately alert the authorities. So I hope that happened, okay? And then you just ignore it and you don't mention it ever again. You don't bring it up every 20 seconds. You don't repost it everywhere. You don't demand attention for it. You don't make threats towards the person. You just say, okay, you go on your merry way. That's the best way to handle it. And I know because I'm someone who's been through it myself.
This is actually kind of funny because first he said it was all made up and it was all impersonations and this and a third. Now he's acknowledging that the situation happened, but someone should have called the cops and he should have been left immune to the situation. So did it happen or did it not happen?
Well, by bringing it up and publicly addressing it and making big drama out of it, all you're doing is giving that person exactly what they wanted in the first place. Did I just get a rare gun? I think I did, and then I got an item that may be another quest item. Where did it go? It is. It's another bounty master. Okay. So there you go. So yeah, in life, that's the thing. You're always gonna, especially if you're someone who has a public face, people know you, and especially people don't like you, they're gonna try to drag you through the dirt on shit. It's this simple. You just say, I have nothing, no involvement. You just say, you discredit it all, disprove it. I have nothing to do with it. Leave me alone. All right? I don't have any responsibility to anyone to come out and be like, oh, don't do this, do this. No, I'm not involved. Someone dropped my name because I was off for 2 days, and they were upset that they couldn't make content about me. So instead, they made up something like that, and then they tried to spin it in a way to say, oh, see.
So which one is it? Did it happen or did it not happen? Because he keeps fluctuating between the two. Fucking retard.
I did it for Phil. It didn't do anything for me. You know, you're just someone on the internet getting attention, and now for some reason I have to go out of my way. No.
So yet again, is the guy a facsimile, just something that Detractors made up, or is it a real person? Or is it a real person who did something and said your name? Like, here, let me bring that part back. Because he's literally acknowledging that the person, PWR, actually did the thing. But he spent this whole time accusing Detractors of making up a lie because he was off for 2 days. The fuck? Like, the mental gymnastics are insane. Like, he's trying everything he can to try to walk away from this clean. Because he doesn't want to be known for having fucking degenerate, fucking deranged retards in his fucking community and shit.
Where did it go? It is. It's another bounty master. Okay. So there you go. So yeah, in life, that's the thing. You're always gonna, especially if you're someone who has a public face, people know you, and especially people don't like you, they're gonna try to drag you through the dirt on shit. It's this simple. You just say, I have nothing, no involvement. You just say, you discredit it all, disprove it. I have nothing to do with it. Leave me alone. All right? I don't have any responsibility to anyone to come out and be like, oh, don't do this, do this. No, I'm not involved. Someone dropped my name because I was off for 2 days, and they were upset that they couldn't make content about me. So instead, they made up something like that, and then they tried to spin it in a way to say, oh, see, I did it for Phil. It didn't do anything for me. You know, you're just someone on the internet getting attention, and now for some reason I have to go out of my way. No, I don't, because that's just giving you what you want.
I thought Detractors made the whole situation up.
Okay, so we got to just stop the nonsense and stop entertaining the bullshit and stop dropping my name at every second. Stop tagging me. Stop involving me in this nonsense. I have nothing to do with it. All right? And I want nothing to do with it. I'm not going to involve myself with it. Or my family or anyone. Leave us alone. Shut the fuck up. Leave my name out of your mouth. Okay. Swish Treats had done a $2 super chat. Thanks for ignoring the drama. That's not what we're here for. I know. Exactly. That's why I'm not bothering with it. I'm not bringing it up at length, you know. On my podcast, I said what I had to say, but people want to keep talking about it all day. Well, you're in the wrong spot. Like, literally, you're in the wrong place.
Speaking of which, how long was PWR's run? Like, it wasn't even a year, right? Like, I felt like that guy, I mean, like I said, I wasn't following him, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But I feel like his run didn't last long. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. If anybody knows, then let me know. But I don't think his run was very long. You know what I'm saying? And for someone who's an addict, which he literally is, who just got out of rehab when he started doing his silly ass shit, the fact that his mother thought it was a good idea to let him leave home and shit is fucking insane. Especially with, you know, giving an addict money. Like, that wasn't a good idea either. The whole situation, there was just irresponsible parties all over the place for that one. That was just a wild ass situation. He clearly left rehab before he was supposed to. I mean, he's a grown ass man, so his mom really can't keep him there, but it's very clear that the dude is fucking deranged. So, like, he should be in someone's custody. I mean, who could say? Whatever. It is what it is. Just another stain on the fucking internet underwear, which is Dark Side Phil. So PWR, in one way or another, was useful in the eventual downfall of DSP. So there's always that.
We don't care. Okay. So with that $2, we're now at 90, I believe. Right? Yes. Cool. And then I received a $2 tip.
Sometime today, Philip.
And Flatman B says, yeah, don't let people drag you into stuff. Exactly. I don't want to. I'm not. If you didn't notice, I said my quick thing on the podcast here. I'm just addressing it quick. This is just a waste of time. Again, when you talk at it at length, like these idiots have done, you have literally given them exactly the reason what they did it for. The attention.
He's really fucking up because like he's literally trying to juggle two different narratives and it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Remember, this all started with him saying that Detractors made it all up. They came up with a story because supposedly we're all jealous and parasites and we didn't know what to do on the 2 days that DSP is off, so we made up this whole scenario. Then he acknowledges that this person did exist. They did do set things, but they evoked his name. He didn't have anything to do with it. It's not his fault. It's not his problem. So yet again, which one is it? Is it all a lie that was made up? Or did somebody actually do something and they're the problem? Because he can't give up he can't fully acknowledge that PWR did what he did without somehow throwing Detractors in there and making it their fault. So he's literally at odds with himself. Yeah, if that's not mental illness, I don't know what is.
They're craving the attention. They want the attention, right? Another $2 tip from Flatman B. He says, here's my take. He says, I can't just go commit a crime, and because I follow someone or drop their name, it's someone's fault. For example, I can't just say, oh, I did this because of Brad Pitt, and then, it's Brad Pitt's fault. Exactly right. That's the point I'm making. You can't, just because someone says something doesn't mean that they're involved. You just ignore it. If someone is doing something heinous, like committing crimes or, threatening violence or doing things, you notify the authorities, you file a police report, tell them what's going on. They'll probably tell you their best advice, right?
Yeah, because that works for you in that supposed identity theft thing, right? Just putting it out there.
On what to do. And then you go about your merry way, and that's that. It's that simple. I have nothing to do with it. I don't want to be involved with this bullshit. These fucking unhinged people who, again, because I had 2 days off, they all lost their shit. They couldn't handle the fact that I had 2 days off from streaming, and they had no.
And since PWR is a fan, Jesus Christ, he's trying so hard to distance himself from that situation. That shit is hilarious. It's his own fan who did this shit. And keep in mind, he's the one that sat there and called Simply Lex and her girlfriend sluts and ethos and all this silly ass shit. And he's the one who riled up the whole situation. Now he's mad because something actually happened. Crazy work, man. Crazy work.
Content. So instead, they had to completely go off the deep end, going nuts and making shit up, and just insane people, fuck them. So what did I get? A gun. I got a gun called Serok's Pride. Oh, that's cool. I have a rare gun. So it is the same stats as my upgraded gun, but it says power attacks will deal high shock accumulation, and each shot deals shock damage. Okay. And it's enchantable. So obviously, let's equip that. That's much better than the regular gun that I had. Cool. Very, very nice. Someone just earned themselves a nice permanent ban. They said, you're being disingenuous because you're not bringing up that you're in a beef with another content creator. I'm not in a beef with any content creator. I have no involvement with any content creator at all.
Oh,
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're an idiot. Just because my detractors have turned things into drama doesn't mean I have no involvement.
Your detractors didn't call her an ethot and a slut. Just put it out there. That's not something that happened.
With any other content creator, you're a liar. I don't know this other content creator people keep bringing up. I've never seen a piece of their content. I don't even know their fucking name. I have no involvement with them whatsoever. You're a fucking loser for actually saying that. Because all you're doing is you're propagating a circle of drama that doesn't exist.
And then when PPP fucking hit his ass, he fell back super fast. Imagine that shit.
You're the problem here, not me.
Oh boy. So sad.
Dual wield pistols, that could be cool. How far out can I go here? Is this an island that's reachable? It is. Holy shit, dude. Did the map just get bigger? I feel like it did. I don't want to go over there right now, though. I feel like that's too far. I feel like I could go over there, but I think that's too far. Okay.
Holy shit.
Anything on this? No, it's just a little thing of, little rock. Nothing on
Yours
this.
isn't the only ship that's gotten into trouble around here.
That's an island to itself with all its shit on it. I don't know what it is. Crazy.
Can't tell you how many ships have come to a bad end.
All right, let's go back.
Rocks.
Another fast travel, huh? Oh, cool. So I wonder if I go back to Shantytown, if I can buy lockpicks. See, and here you go. And here's the root of it all. A troll account on Kick says their name is Grown Ass Man Begging Money. Says, oh, you're a loser, Phil. So here's the problem, all right? I'm successful. I'm happy, all right? I'm really enjoying my life. I have fans and viewers who like what I do and who I am. They support me, and people just can't handle that. They're upset. They're jealous. So what do? They try to ruin my life because they can't handle the fact that I'm successful and they're not, and they're miserable. They think that they should have what I have, despite the fact that they didn't grind for 6 years.
There's nothing that you have that, well, at least for me, I can only speak for myself. There's nothing that you have that I could ever want at all. You're in a prison of your own making. You somehow, some way turn Cat into the fucking prison warden as well as the fucking mascot and shit. You live in absolute fucking squalor. You have to chase other men around the internet for attention, and then you get mad. Actually, not even get mad. You're insulted that they won't talk to you or they won't deal with you. How is it that you're damn near one of the most prolific lolcows to damn near ever exist, and yet you can't get another lolcow to talk to you? How is that a thing? That's insane. And then 3 or 4 years ago, he had plenty of opportunities to talk to people. I remember Mutahar at one time tried to offer him like $5,000 to speak to him, and DSP wanted to turn that shit down. Then a year or two later, sorry, when he had his glow up with Kino Casino, now he mad because Mutahar won't reach out to him. Now he's mad because Moist Critical don't want to talk to him. I mean, Moist Critical will never want to talk to him anyway. That is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Medicare, when he was healthy enough, was willing to talk to him. He didn't want to talk to Medicare. He was worried that he was going to drop the N-word. But we had Ethan Ralph up there, though. So make sense of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. Every opportunity that was given to him, he squandered. And then he got mad because, oh, well, it was offered to me once. I should be able to have it again. Timing is a thing. Timing is everything. It's not just a thing. It's everything. And your time passed. It is what it is. So now he got to run around here and ask for charity. Now he out here begging other men for stimulus packages and shit. That's crazy. That's literally crazy.
16 years to get it. So they just sit around.
And then most of you guys might not, yeah, you guys should remember this. It was like in like October or November of this year. It may have even been September, October. He was literally mad that people didn't want to have his life. He was like, why wouldn't people want to be me? Why wouldn't they want everything that I have in my life and this, that? Because your life is shit. Because your life is shit. Just like your setup is shit. And you only acknowledge that when you're in a position to get something better. If he could replace Cat right now, he would. But he can't.
Around, being miserable. Oh, this guy is going to take 2 days off? Oh, not allowed. Let's do everything we can to ruin that, right? It's like, no. You're not going to ruin it. You're not going to ruin anything for me. You're not. My life is good and will continue to be good, and you'll continue to be miserable. And there's nothing you can do about it besides finally realize that and move on, because you're never going to change things for me. Things are always going to be good now, and you got to deal with that, right? So it's that simple. So why do you think this is happening? Because this is why miserable names like that.
And see, this is the reason why people like lolcows in particular should, when they think they've got high cards, they should never talk about it. But they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. And I think this is the reason why people think DSP has pride. He doesn't have pride. But for some reason, people mistake this nonsense here for pride. And it's clearly not it. true pride shines all the way around, not just when you're up, but when you're down. And DSP's always down. So I don't understand where the fuck the concept of pride comes from out of that, but that's just me. He's got a whole lot of ego, though. I'll give him that. It's not a good thing, at least not for him, but whatever.
Miserable wretch who just can't deal with the fact that I'm happy and they're not, I'm successful and they're not. Sorry, it's just reality, and the sooner you understand it and realize it, the better, because nothing's going to change. How do I get to this vendor?
Only if he knew what was going to happen 9 months later. Not even 9 months later. I mean, shit, after the fucking snakening, shit was starting to fall apart and whatever. And he was literally on Discord begging everybody to get his hands on to do something with him. But he's successful, though. He's happy, right? Insane.
Oh, look, I just found something. Cool. Sweet. All right, well, we got to find this vendor.
Literal waste of space. Holy shit. All right. So there we go with that. I'm going to take some time off away from this situation for a bit. And I'll spin back around on it. By the time you guys see this, I probably would have already followed this up with something else by then. But there you go on that. That's what that situation or scenario was, which is dumb as hell. That's literally dumb as fuck. Holy shit. He was literally dumb as hell. All right, so final thoughts. I'll let you guys go. The mental gymnastics on trying to separate himself from the PWR thing was fantastic. I gotta tell you, I am very, very impressed with how he did that. It didn't work, obviously, but I'm still the effort that he was willing to expend doing that is kind of fucking silly. It wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth it. But yet again, he doesn't want people to know that his audience is full of fucking weird ass fucking degenerate rejects. And he's ashamed of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yet again. And I don't know if PWR had exhibited any fucking crazy behavior before that. I'm sure there's plenty of guys in the your favorite detractor can tell you on that one. But yeah, that dude should have been locked up in a fucking mental hospital or something from the jump, to be honest with you. Like, that guy should have never have been able to fucking walk amongst regular people. Very clearly. So when I see these clips of him talking about, oh, my career and everybody's trying to take it away from me and all this bullshit, like, all right. You're just as mentally ill as fucking DSP, and why would I expect anything different? Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys for the next one of these, whenever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. I really don't want to cover anything that PWR guy did, but fucking A. I may have to now if it helps fucking finish the story up. But Jesus Christ. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Snort Report. This has been DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, for Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, for Tim Snortons, for SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. For all of our subsidiaries and affiliates, I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. I would say don't be a dent, and I mean that for sure. But no, don't think, but no, that DSP has just absolutely degenerate monkeys over there in his fucking community, and he always has. He always has. And well, not all of them were like that, but for the most part, they were always there. And as DSP pushed out all the free thinkers, all the people who were willing to stand up for themselves, all those people who were willing to call him out for all the bullshit and cons and lies that he was doing, he got reduced to the lowest fucking common denominator. And that's what was left. People like PWR. Keep that in mind. Take care, people. Later.